Florida's Hometown Heroes program is back as of July 1st, 2025. If you missed out in the past and you need assistance with the down payment on a home, do not miss out this time. I know that lenders can have you prepared to receive these funds by the middle of June, so make sure to get pre-approved early so you don't miss out again. I'm Brand the Mortgage Man. I've helped more than 10,000 home buyers over my 20+ year career in mortgages, and today I'm here to help you. So Florida's Hometown Heroes program is something I get asked about all of the time. A lot of realtors think it's still available, although it ran out of funds within about 90 days of the program being released for the past 3 years. But if you're not familiar with the program, here's what it is. Hometown Heroes is a down payment assistance program, DPA. And if you're not familiar with down payment assistance programs are, make sure to watch my video on down payment assistance programs and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like that one. But down payment assistance, what's nice about this program is it's for Florida residents. You have to be a first-time home buyer, and I'm going to put a note here, cannot own primary home, meaning a home you live in, within 3 years of buying a new one. Right? So that makes you a first-time home buyer for this program. Veterans, so military veterans, this does not apply. You need to work for a company based in Florida, right? These are some general highlights of the program. Now, as far as the funds are concerned, which is what you're concerned with, right? What's the money that you actually get to help with your home purchase? The DPA amount equals 5% of the first mortgage. So what do I mean by that? So let me give you an example. Assuming the guidelines do not change for 2025's version of the program, here's how it works. Let's just say that you have a first mortgage of $400,000. That's what you're borrowing, not your purchase price. In this scenario, it means that the Hometown Heroes DPA would equal $20,000. And that's because 20,000 is equal to 5% of 400,000. That makes sense? Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, reach out to me, I'll explain it more. But that's how that's gonna work. Now, you can actually have up to, unless they change this, like I said, the program is up to $35,000. That's what it was in 2024. Meaning that you could have a first mortgage of $700,000 and you would have received $35,000 toward your down payment. Now, I should be clear, it's not just toward your down payment, because your down payment may not be $35,000 because you might only be putting down 3% or 5%, and maybe that's not $35,000 in this example. Any surplus of what needs to go toward the down or over the down payment could go toward the closing costs as well. And if you want to know about closing costs, watch my video where I break down all the closing costs. Now, speaking of closing costs, as I said, this is a Florida specific program. And there are 2 stamps that we have to pay in Florida anytime we get a mortgage. So those stamps that we pay a state stamp and we pay a city-county stamp, also known as intangible tax. This is 0.2%, this is 0.35%. So that means together, this is 0.55% of your loan amount. So let's just say you're doing 0.55%, and this is on any purchase with any mortgage. Let's just say you're borrowing $500,000. This is $2,750 that you would pay when you're obtaining a mortgage in the state of Florida equal to $500,000. However, something you might not know is that with Florida Hometown Heroes, you're actually exempt from paying this. You don't pay any stamps to the state or to the city or county when you're using the Hometown Heroes program. So on top of getting money toward your down payment or potentially toward your closing costs, if the credit exceeds, or not the credit, if the DPA exceeds what your down payment is, you're also saving on the stamps by not having to pay those, which is awesome. Now, on top of that, that's not enough of of a benefit, the state of Florida actually dictates what the interest rate is for this program. So what that means to you is that whether you talk to me, you talk to another bank, a mortgage broker, another lender who offers the Hometown Heroes program, we will all be offering the exact same interest rate on the same day. Now that rate could change from day to day before you lock. However, it will not be different from one lender to the next on the same day. It's identical. So when you're trying to determine who to work with, and it's specifically for the Florida Hometown Heroes program, unless you just don't like the person you're speaking with and aren't confident in their ability to get it done for you, there's no real reason to shop around just because there is no shopping for this specific program. Something you also want to keep in mind is that the minimum credit score, unless changed again, is a 640. So 640 minimum credit score for the Florida Hometown Heroes program. All right, it's very, very important because if you're getting an FHA mortgage, for example, and you have a 600 credit score, this program's not going to work for you. You'd have to look for an alternative. So just consider that. However, like I mentioned, because the rate is set by the state, someone who has a 640 credit score is going to get the same exact interest rate as someone with an 800 credit score for this program. Now, there are income limits for the program. Those have not been released yet, but I can tell you that if you're in South Florida, for example, those income limits were close to the mid 100,000 range for the qualifying income, not household income. So if only one person in your household is going on the loan to qualify and their income falls within that threshold, then they would be eligible. So it is very high limits. It's not a low income by any means program. Now, this isn't free money. I just want to be clear on that as well. This is money that goes in a second lien position on the property, zero interest, zero payment required on a monthly basis. However, when you sell the property, you have to pay it back. If you refinance to try to lower your rate on that first mortgage, you have to pay back the second mortgage at that time. If you no longer occupy the home as your primary residence, meaning as the property that you live in year round, you will need to pay back those funds. And after 30 years, you would need to pay it back, assuming you hadn't already done so in one of those ways I just mentioned. So it's very important to consider. However, it is good news that the program is returning on July 1st, 2025. Like I said earlier, if you're someone who missed it the first 3 times, don't miss it again. This is going to make it a lot easier for you to qualify if the down payment is what's holding you back from doing so. So if you want to see more videos like this one and learn more about mortgages and real estate, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you have questions about the Hometown Heroes program or really anything for your own scenario, make sure to leave a comment below. I do reply to 100% of the comments left on my videos.